So tell us your name and what character you'll be playing.
I'm John Marciniak, and I'll be playing the character of Bert.
Tell us a little bit more about your character.
Oh, well, Bert, basically, he's sort of this carefree, happy-go-lucky guy who, although he may seem, clownish and childish on the outside, there's something wise about him. There's something deeper about him that makes him such an important character in the musical.
So what do you love most about playing Bert on stage?
Oh, what I love most about playing Bert is all the dancing, for sure. He does a lot of dancing, and, I like to think I can move my feet a little bit, so I enjoy that a lot.
Are there any parts about Bert that you feel like you can identify with?
Oh, yes. I can definitely identify with the how he sort of he learns a different trade all the time. I enjoy doing things like that, learning something new, trying something out that I've never tried before, so I like that.
So when you're on stage and it's right before you go out, before the curtain comes up, what is the last thing that's going through your mind?
Ooh, the last thing that's usually going through my mind is what I ate last night. I usually feel it right about here.
What is something that you enjoy doing when you're not on stage and involved in theater? What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to play a lot of music. I do a lot of instruments and stuff, and since I'm a senior, I'm going to be going into audio and radio production in college next year at Fredonia, so a lot of sound stuff and music stuff.
Is there anyone that you would like to thank?
Yes, I would like to thank my father for bringing me to these rehearsals every day and putting up with me, and I'd like to thank the directors of this wonderful production and all my castmates for making it such a great show.
Tell us your name and what character you'll be playing.
My name is Allie Buich, and I'm playing Mrs. Banks.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your character?
Mrs. Banks starts off the show very lost. She has everything she could possibly want in life. She has a stable family and house, and she still feels very unfulfilled, and she doesn't know really what her purpose is. And throughout the show, she finds out what she's supposed to be doing and how she can help her family, and it's...
What has been the biggest challenge that you thought you have come across since playing in the show?
I think being a woman in this time period, I'm very lucky to have certain rights, the right to vote and the right to wear what I want and things like that. And with Mrs. Banks, she didn't have those rights, and it's kind of interesting to think of what my life would have been like had I been in her position. And it was definitely a struggle to get into that mindset.
So being on stage and having to play the role of Mrs. Banks and working with others on stage, what makes a good scene partner?
Oh gosh. Someone who's willing to listen and willing to work with you, definitely. It's also a lot about chemistry, and thankfully with my husband, Ben Graham, we just kind of clicked, and we were so able to play off each other. So I was really lucky with him, but definitely good communication and just being able to help each other out, as well as worrying about your own character.
Is there anyone you would like to thank?
I'd like to thank my parents for driving me to rehearsals. Ben Graham, who plays my husband, and Allie Forsyth and Kobe Morgan, who play my two children.
Great, thank you. Tell us your name and what character you'll be playing.
I am Ben Graham, and I will be playing the role of Mr. Banks.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your character?
Mr. Banks is, believe it or not, a banker, and at the start of the show he's very blustery, very stuck-up, and by the end he figures out what's important in life, and that's family.
How have you found that you are like or unlike your character that you play on stage?
I think, very interestingly, he is a character that has a real transformation, and I think through these shows and through everything that I've done here at St. Joe's, I have had a transformation in figuring out what is important to me, and he figures out what's important to him as well.
Oh, wow, okay. So you said through all of your shows, is this your final show that you're doing this year?
This is the last one.
Oh, okay. So other than this show, what has been your favorite show that you've been involved in thus far?
I think I would have to say Noises Off, which is from my sophomore year. It was just an amazing cast, amazing set, and probably the best written show that we've done.
Oh, that's great. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
I would like to thank my parents for driving me everywhere. I would like to thank John Marciniak for being the best friend that I could have and the best guy I could be up on stage with. And my lovely wife in the show, Allie Vuich. I couldn't do it without her. I couldn't do it without any of them.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us your name and what character you'll be playing.
My name is Alex Nowak, and I will be Mary Poppins.
Can you tell us more about your character?
She is the character everyone knows and loves. The musical has a little bit of a spin to her. She is the same person, but definitely more bubbly, more outgoing than you would remember from the movie or the books. She is very sassy, kind of, but in a very genuinely nice and honest way. It's just very fun.
Are there any particular ways that you can identify with Mary Poppins?
She's a nanny, so she's very caring and very motherly, and I identify with that a lot towards my friends. And she's very loyal, even though she has to leave, but she still sticks with them and keeps them in her mind, every family that she visits, and that's something that we both share in common. Both keep things in mind and remember things very well.
What has been the biggest challenge for you taking on a role such as Mary Poppins?
That the audience knows her very well. She is such a well-known character. It's hard. You can't please everybody, and it's very difficult to find a good common ground with all the different versions of her. So it's very fun to give her my own spin and share it with the audiences. So we'll see what they think.
So when you're on stage and it's right before that curtain comes up, what is the last thing that is going through your mind?
Well, I think the last thing on my mind is what the audience is thinking, because once the curtain opens, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Before I go out on stage, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about my lines, what has to go on. But as soon as that curtain opens, it's the first thing I think about, and what they're going to see and what they're going to take from the show.
So you're a senior. How does it feel with this being your last high school performance?
I am so thankful I came to St. Joe's for my senior year. I wouldn't change it for the world, and I'm so happy that this is my last show in high school, because it's such a magical experience, and if everyone could have a chance to be on stage, they should take that chance, because it is the best feeling in the world, and I'm so thankful that it gets to be with them with my last show here.
Is there anyone you would like to thank?
Mr. Fursina and everybody involved in the show. If I could thank everybody in the cast and say something about them, we would be here for a week talking about it. I love everybody here, and I would definitely want to thank my entire family for supporting me through everything.
Thank you. Break a leg tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.